everything that's hot, trending, or newsworthy in the game industry that's happening right now. Obviously, E3 press conference is a huge ticket for us. So today, Brandon, who are we going to be putting under the microscope?
We're finally going to look at the other third titan, Nintendo, who kind of just who kind of just like did their own thing. They started this whole trend of doing their off-campus E3.
I'm not invited to your party? Okay.
Not invited to their party.
Our own party.
Right. And so this is a great opportunity to kind of see what they're up to and try to fix the different things that they've been planning. So it's always a fun opportunity to kind of see how they've been taking themselves out of the game directly, because I think we can all relate to how Microsoft and Sony are direct competitors in terms of graphic fidelity. Yeah. I mean, it's always been the arm race with them. Yeah. But Nintendo's kind of been off on their own island creating just fun games.
It's surprising, like their business strategy. Like they're like, look, you know what? We're not going to go into the fray and try to be top 3 on the consoles. We're just going to do what we think is going to be fun with games, and we know that we'll find our community there because nobody has better first-party support on titles than we do. Yeah. Sony's working on trying to compete there, but come on. Yeah. Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Yoshi, Luigi, like everybody that has ever graced a Nintendo game pretty much has their own slew of franchise games.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's super exciting to see how far they've come. We've already teased at the fact that every other console they fail like greatly, but with their recent one,
Nintendo.
With the recent one, of course, it's killing off the shelves. Like it's right behind console, PlayStation, to be honest, right? And my kid loves it, I love it, and I hope they continue that.
Hell yeah, man. I was looking for the Switch maybe 5 years before it came out. Like
exactly.
I was like, I wish someone would make the, like, let me play it at home, but let me play it on the go. I thought the PSP was like my first
you were
shot.
Probably thinking that when you were looking at your PSP.
It's like, all right, cool. I'm going to get it on the PSP and have it, like, the link cable to the TV.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking, but, you know.
Well, our video is still transcoding, so we're going to buy my time. This is a perfect opportunity. If you like what we're doing, we are doing this every day for the last 3 days now, and Games ReCap is going to continue to be that way.
Every day, weekly.
Weekly.
Don't look for me on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. So if you are looking at a way for us to support us, of course, there's a donate button below. I think this is our 7th day straight streaming, which is our last goal to make that Twitch Prime.
Oh, yeah.
So after today, we're going to have that Twitch Prime. So if you are a Prime membership, after today, you can give us that $5 tier. You're going to see that button pop up. And everybody, I don't know if everybody knows about this, but if you are a Prime member, you actually have $5 every month just to give away.
For free.
So give it to us.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, right? Like if you don't have anyone to give it to.
Yeah.
Hook up the Blue Champs.
So, I mean, obviously, yesterday you kind of went to E3 to kind of visit some friends. Like, how was the... Of course, you didn't go on the expo.
Cool. Just as a game developer, I always look forward to the big conferences where I know that there's going to be like a conglomerate of all the people, all the industry, or excuse me, all the companies that I've worked for. The likelihood of me seeing old friends is very high. Last night, I got to hang out with some really good friends that, I worked on Call of Duty with, Lost Planet 3 with. And then an art director who was very adamant about helping students while I was at college at the Art Institute. Well, actually where we met.
Right.
So just had dinner and drinks with, a bunch of people who were like really important to me and like I cared about and like had a good time in my career with. So it was dope. And I learned a lot about everyone else's career growth and like I guess the inner happenings at so-and-so's company and such a thing. All the behind the scenes drama that we always spill whenever we get together. But it's been... it's a wild ride to be this far into my career.
Yeah.
I love meeting up with my friends and just seeing them again and then just shooting the shit.
Yeah, GDC and E3 are still the best two conferences to kind of meet up with old game developer friends, but also like gamers. And so it's always a great opportunity to kind of use those chances to kind of meet up and catch up and what's going on in the industry. At least a lot of the times that I meet up with my friends at these events is to... as Larry kind of cuts into my camera time, is that the opportunities that we meet each other, but we also if we work together, we also just use that time to kind of shit talk about the companies that are kind of going downhill right now, right? So I think a bulk of the time is like, remember that guy, the crazy guy that worked there, and they didn't have the ability to kind of keep everybody, or now they're poaching everybody to their new company. It seems to be.
Remember that guy in the elevator who was like, "Oh, so now you like fried chicken?"
Exactly, and it's mostly when we get together, it's a lot of that. It's just kind of trading old war stories and kind of keeping each other in good spirits enough to kind of
keep doing this a couple more years.
Yeah, exactly. Now that we're cameras all set,
gotta fix the focus on this one.
He's gonna fix the focus. So while I'm by time games recap, this is the third one. We are looking forward to this. Is the third episode. Be a perfect time to talk about our Patreon support. Of course, go to patreon.com/bluechamps. If you want this in audio podcast form, we are working up towards that because that does cost hosting fees. And daily shows, as you can tell, is still 1 hour. And so imagine Game Dev Unchained before our other podcast for new listeners out there.
Well, we just got a pretty cool pat on the back, and I'm always in the Twitch chat while we do this. And so it says, Dane Thane says, "You're the only Twitch streamers I follow, so next time I do Prime, it's yours."
That is fantastic.
Thank you very much. That helps. Every little bit helps, pun intended.
Yes. And so I think we are ready to look at the Nintendo Direct. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up.
All right. Can't wait.
So, Larry, why don't you kill some time?
Sure. So let me put it back on Larry Cam. Oh, it feels so good to be back on Larry Cam. What's up, guys? Larry Charles here. Again, thank you for joining us daily. We've already done the Sony conference. We've already done Google Stadia. We've already done Microsoft. You can definitely check out those clips both on our Twitch channel. If you want to see the full archived episode, definitely go to the Blue Champs YouTube channel where you'll be able to see all that. Today, we're going to dig deep into Nintendo, see what they're offering, see what they're talking about, see what we should be excited about. Obviously, again, we know they're going to kill it with first party. They always do. I feel bad for third-party developers on Nintendo stuff because you're way back of the bus. But, Switch is a great platform to develop for, regardless of if you're first in line or not. I think Nintendo's always done a great job of making sure that the games people want to play get made for their platforms.
All right. So we're going to watch Nintendo. I haven't seen this. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it. I've heard a couple of headlines.
Yeah.
I haven't delved in yet. So this is actually going to be a first-time reaction, live reaction.
Live reaction. I actually, out of all the other Stadia, Microsoft, I haven't really heard anything.
Someone said my wallet is huge. I wish it was because of the
please
money
ignore the big wallet. We still love your donations
coupons,
and Patreon support.
Coupons and what do you call them? Membership cards to grocery stores. And
We
all
just
that.
take it off.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, so I'm gonna start the video. Here we go. Sound is working.
Oh, the Switch. I wish I had my Switch here right now. I love that thing. And I also wish that the Joy-Con controllers were a little bit bigger because my hands.
Yeah, not all of us have big hands, so we're good.
No, because the
This
buttons,
Kawhi
it kills
Leonard
my
over here.
thumbs to try to move
Mr.
2
Kawhi.
centimeters to hit 2 different buttons.
Yeah, I
Is
think
this
their
Smash?
regular demographic is just Japanese players.
Yeah, no, it's no company makes anything considering people my size except for Men's Warehouse.
I think honestly, if they did they're not foreign to the idea of a Switch Deluxe. They've done that with their handheld devices before.
Yeah.
I think they actually might sell it more in Western.
Yeah.
They do it with phones. Why not with consoles? Here's
Oh.
Zelda again, always making
Get 'em, Link.
a splash.
Don't take no shit. Yeah. Who saved me?
So Opus
And
did a
Joker
shout out. Opus Senor Bit gave a shout out saying that he's been here since GDux. Hopefully you've been doing other things since GDux. But thank you for the support.
Dragon Quest. Or
Is this
guy
another
looks
Smash
he's from
Brother?
Dragon-
What is
it's
this?
like a Toriyama style. This has to be Smash. Yeah, there you go. Nice. That's a pretty cool crossover. You know about Akira Toriyama.
No, I don't.
You know Dragon Ball Z?
I know Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, so the artist creator behind Dragon Ball Z was, I think he's art director for Dragon Quest since it started. So obviously it carries over his art style. So as soon as you see the Toriyama face, I was like, oh, I know they've added Dragon Quest to Smash Brothers.
Nice.
Now, forgive me, gamers, if that character has a specific name that I don't know, because I actually have never played any Dragon Quest, but I'm very familiar with the slimes and the art style from Dragon Quest, because I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah.
These are all the online people waiting to get some.
This is what people at E3 look like. Is it still Smash? You just introduce new characters.
Smash.
Okay.
It's Smash. Is that Secret of Mana, kid? What are we doing here? Am I calling these names right? Like, I think. No, yeah, it's it's just more people from Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people complain about the annual Call of Duties, but they never say anything about Nintendo, which I feel is a weird disconnect. For some reason, Nintendo gets the benefit of the doubt every time. But I have no disdain for Nintendo doing that. I feel like they continue to make great games, and every time I have a new console, I definitely want all their games on that new console. Like, I have Smash Brothers right now.
You do?
Yeah, for the Switch.
Are you trash or are you good?
Oh, I'm
honest.
good. I'm alright.
So
is this the same game or is it an update?
It's Smash Brothers Ultimate. I don't know. I have never owned a single Smash Brother.
Oh, it's Smash Brother X Dragon Quest. So it's
like
a new
crossover.
Game. It's a crossover of all the characters.
Like Street Fighter X Tekken and Tekken X Street Fighter. But one of them never came out. I forgot which one.
It's a very Japanese
I think it was the
thing.
Tekken version of Street Fighter didn't come out, but the Street Fighter version of Tekken did come out.
Yeah.
The hero of light will fight to protect the world. All right, so now we're getting a new Dragon Quest game.
Goku is in Smash all of them. Carlos Contralian just commented.
Summer DLC, baby.
Yeah, whenever I watch Nintendo, it's like they're off in their own Disneyland, right? And they're able to kind of get away with like cheesy orchestra music, and it isn't about being serious at all. It's mostly colorful. It's all about fun, and no one faults them for that. No one, you either like them or you don't hate them.
Yoshiaki Koizumi from Nintendo. In this Nintendo Direct for E3 2019, we'll showcase a variety.
So we're gonna have 3 voices talking now, 4 even. We have the original speaker, the translator, and then ourselves. So this is gonna be a very interesting period of time for audio.
What?
This is cute. Like, this is great. This is great fanfare right here. You know.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely the Disney company of the game industry.
Yeah, that's a good reference.
They can get away with all this stuff.
And this is something that you can't do live on an E3 stage, but you can.
Oh yeah, they've definitely rehearsed their line. You're doing live on the E3 stage is still stilted when they do these like.
You know what I mean? Like
lines.
this little character integration, like video editing. This would be hey, let's cut to a video we filmed, right? If you were at an E3 presentation. Whereas when you're running your own thing, you can just.
Haven't you seen Tupac come back to life with holograms, dude?
Yeah, I'll cut you out.
No, this way.
Bye bye.
Maybe next time.
Bowser's one of my favorite character designs of all time.
Are you related?
No, but we get that a lot.
But see, these guys are suits,
Well, let's get
and they're not hiding it.
Please take it away.
Like Microsoft, they're wearing sweaters,
throw
and,
on your
and
t-shirt,
sweatpants.
wear this lanyard.
Yeah, it's like just be who you are.
Put on
I
your
like
Chuck
I'm
Taylors.
fine. You look clean.
Yeah.
You're giving me a message. I have no hate or disdain for you.
This feels more authentic.
It feels way more authentic. It's like we have Sith Lords
And
like
clearly-
swapping out their suits and wearing sweaters and supposed to be relatable. It's like, come on, man. Yeah,
They're not wearing neckties, so
yeah. There you go.
Oh, I love
See,
that
that's
snap.
a casual.
I love
yeah,
that snap.
Very snap. Yeah, that's a very smart
Oh, what's up, Luigi?
marketing thing.
Oh, Luigi's Mansion coming out with a new game. Have you ever played any of the Luigi's Mansions?
I think I played the what was that board game, Mario Party, and they had a Luigi part to it.
Gotcha.
But I've always been interested in Luigi Mansion. It looks like a fun co-op type of game, right? I'm interested to see how they incorporate the Switch capabilities.
Luigi's Mansion has always just been a fun exploration of, you know, new video game ideas and mechanics based on Mario IP. So I've always thought it was cool.
They're so smart, man. Nintendo somehow figured out to Call of Duty everything, but with none of the Call of Duty hate.
Yeah.
Like every console and every 2 years, they just use the same license to be creative with it and be fine. And then once in a while, they come out with like that paintball game.
Well,
What is that?
But you want to know why? I guess I would say I'm literally watching Luigi suck ghosts into a vacuum in a haunted mansion, right? Could you see like Activision taking such a divergence from their bread and butter to do like a Luigi's Mansion version of Call of Duty, right? Like Blackout is the farthest stretch that I've seen Activision take to go, hey, we need to innovate and do something new for the Call of Duty experience, right? So we're going to add Battle Royale mode, and that's going to be a primary feature, right? Zombies was like the last time that I saw like, okay, cool, this is like a huge step outside of what I would expect or call tried and true. Now, if you compare Mario games to a Luigi's Mansion, two different encyclopedias altogether, let alone being on the same page. So yeah, it's, I don't know, they definitely would say, hey, designers, be creative, show us something cool, we'll support you, right? And like that's, I think Nintendo still has people who innovate and dream and like have fun coming up with game ideas, you know what I mean? And it's not bred out of a, hey, how many daily active users are we going to get if you do this?
Yeah.
You know, how much revenue are we going to generate if you do this? Versus this is like, hey, I have this cool idea, it's involving Luigi, I think it's going to be fun.
He makes for a great co-op partner. But proceed with caution. Gooigi and water
Gooigi.
definitely don't mix.
Yeah, it's, I think just
Now please direct your
Nintendo in
attention
general
to the scares
has a lot more freedom to kind of be more playful, you know, so I'm not going to hate on other companies that don't go as far as this, because obviously, you know, the whole setup of Mario, Luigi, Toadstool, like the colorfulness of the characters, the diversity that they're already building in this fantastic world, their boundaries are way less constrained. So I do recognize that as a developer, that like, yeah, the things that we would accept that still stay within this world is huge compared to what we'd accept when somebody's trying to make a realistic feeling type of game.
a haunted hotel with floor after floor of oddities.
It's great, man. It looks good. You know, this is we're at a time where we're making a return. I feel like we're on equal footing now with like the highest graphic fidelities out there.
We're there.
With stylistic games.
Yeah.
And it's just as good. People don't think of it any less if you do it right. You know, if you get Pixar quality, it looks just as good as anything realistic.
And that's what I appreciate about the industry right now, is that if you, let's say we're getting to the point where we can't continue to arms race for graphics fidelity, so you can't lean on that as your main selling point. So what do you have to do? Be more creative and make games that are just more fun based on the merits of their entertainment
We dive
value.
deeper into this title on Nintendo Treehouse, live at E3 2019.
People are
We'll be streaming
on
content, some
Japanese.
you've never seen
Slime
before,
Rancher.
right from the show floor.
Can you read some of the comments?
It looks like there's just conversation going on,
And on
and
day 3, our Treehouse staff will get their
yeah,
hands
people
on
are
some
kind of
promising
going back and
innovations
forth. But
that are
yeah,
new
it
to
looks like they're talking about Luigi's Mansion as a
While you
concept
watch
and
today's Nintendo Direct,
educating
keep an eye
each
out for
other.
this icon to learn what other games will appear on Nintendo Treehouse, live at E3 2019.
Man, someone should hire us to present,
Or
you know,
this.
kill it and nail it, and knock it out of the park. Like, are those words on the teleprompter? We don't need that.
Ogre slept too long.
Ugh.
Far too long. Sing me your story. What has become
Man, see,
Is this Jim Henson, the game? What am I
see,
looking
I
at here?
appreciate the
The
return to puppetry, man. Like, if it's not 3D stylized animation, and stop making digital characters. I feel like there's a certain level of the 80s in practical visual effects that needs to still
Return
be
to-
like the go-to way
Yeah.
of movie making. Anyways,
Ooh, a tactics game. I'm excited so far. I can't tell if it's a Final Fantasy or Ogre or. Let's see.
heroes of Thra? They're going to need all the help they can get.
This is cool. The Dark Crystal. Oh man, I was right, and I was trying to be funny. It's like, that's cool. Dark Crystal gets attacked this game. Oh, I know what I'm looking at. I'm hyped. You recognize this, Brendan? Did you have a Game Boy coming up?
No, surprisingly, I never had one.
So-
I think at some point I did get one, but I wasn't very hardcore. I just was so opposed to buying cartridges.
So, looks like we're getting a complete 3D remaster remake of Link's Awakening. Lots of fun for the Game Boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that they're trying to do like a 1-to-1 just in 3D. So, I'm excited to play this.
This looks
again.
really good, actually. Looks super cute.
Yeah. Link's Awakening, Link to the Past,
So
they both
clever,
kind of
man.
feel like same art direction, art style. So both of those were like some of my favorite childhood games from Nintendo. And it's been so long since I've played Link's Awakening that, you know, I can't wait to chop bushes and discover stuff again like I used to. Driving on those long car trips to Virginia, trying to find just the right light as you're driving so you can keep playing your game. You know, all this backlit stuff that these kids have these days. In my day, we played Game Boy games 8 seconds at a time as the street lights would go by.
See, this is great.
Oh yeah, that's right. So they're letting you make your own like kind of dungeons inside of this game. Like you get a little room editor and you can.
The percentage of people actually making their thing, it's got to be like less than 10%. Right?
You like making their own stuff?
Making their own levels, making it playable for everybody.
Well, think about it though. They set this kind of success up with Mario Maker. Mario Maker 1,
right.
Mario Maker 2. They've already seen like, oh wow, people do want to kind of get creative inside of our IP. So let's start adding that to more games. So I think it's cool they added to a Zelda game. September 20th, 2019. Congrats to everybody who had Zelda in their childhood. We get to relive those days. That's a good move. All right, Square Enix. Looks like Secret of Mana. Or something related to that franchise. Oh, I was right. What the? I wish I had more to say, but I'm like, I am actually captivated trying to see what they're doing differently in this game or what, you know, I can look forward to. But the Mana games on Super Nintendo, and then I think PlayStation also had a couple entries, like the original regular PlayStation.
With the power of mana.
Like Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, Trials of Mana. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll watch more trailers of it to see what's coming down, but that it doesn't immediately say bye to me, unfortunately. Oh, the original games. Hey. Nice. Ah, collection of mana. Cool.
He seems to know like every single one of these franchises. Even though I have a Switch, I'm so behind on Nintendo games.
No, I mean,
Except for like the mascots, I don't really. What game is this?
if you ask me about games from, let's say, about 1990 to about 2005, I held it down.
Yeah.
Once I got into the industry and was really trying to get into the industry, the availability of my time to put towards video games, like, obviously significantly diminished. What? Witcher 3 on Switch? I can't wait to see the fidelity because, like, Witcher 3 that's a huge, big game with a lot going on at all times. So I want to see screenshots running on the
Switch is kind of like a PlayStation 3.5. So as long as you're, because they ported Doom and all these other. I mean, it is besides Nintendo games.
Yeah.
They're very smart on like utilizing third party this time around as being the handheld version.
Oh, this looks good.
Class reunions go. This one's got to be the worst in history. What should we do, Teach?
Yeah. Kill everything. As Dawn.
A lot of the animes are being made this way too, with
Fire
just
Emblem.
3D rendering.
It's smart. I mean,
We have no choice.
theoretically it takes less time, but you can still get that like really cool, crisp, cell shaded look.
Yeah.
People will accept it.
Still a difference, as you can tell, right? But
It doesn't have that hand drawn, but it also, I can say this: you can get more shows, you can get them faster, requiring less people.
and still be able to tell the story.
Yeah.
Not be distracting. I gotta get back into anime, man. Every time I see like cool animation, it's like so many good stories out there that I haven't.
All right, real
But
quick.
I get bombarded with the amount though.
Real quick, what was your favorite anime that you've watched thus far in your life?
Thus far,
Yeah.
like Full Metal Alchemist, I really loved from beginning to end.
Okay.
I love the Naruto
I was-
series,
yeah,
of
I
course.
think
I
mine
mean, that's
goes there.
800 episodes. Without the filler episodes, it's really good.
Nintendo Switch is the
But
only
we're talking
gaming
about, like,
console you
mini,
can
like,
play
short
not only on
series,
your
like,
TV at home, but anywhere you go.
What's that Titan one?
Attack on Titan.
In
Yeah.
fact, with a
Attack on
system
Titan
like
was pretty
this,
cool.
It might be fun to
I
play
can see
Resident
clearly it left an impact on you. What was that Titan one?
yeah. Well, I was about to say Titanfall.
No,
but
no,
that wasn't
yeah.
right, yeah.
Titanfall anime would be kind of cool. You do a lot of storytelling there.
Yeah.
Nintendo getting spooky.
No lights?
The like the low hanging fruit comical internet memes, like, and then a browser's logo pops out. Like they walk into an empty house.
It's a Switch. Oh, they're showing how they're playing a scary game here.
Oh, man, what a letdown.
Can you open it?
I am happy.
Is this original Resident Evil?
I think 5 and 6 are coming to the Switch. I'm not sure, but I think 5 and 6.
This is the original one. Looks like.
A remake?
Did it just eat him? It's gonna come back. Okay.
Oh man, I'm freaking out. The small screen. Oh,
I mean,
Got it.
I'm not gonna lie though.
is this the best way to sell this? Probably, right? If they were to show a remake.
Because the graphics from the video are gonna be graphics from the better than the graphics from the remake.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I'm not going to act like Resident Evil 1 wasn't scary. I got my hands on Resident Evil Director's Cut on the PlayStation. I was playing it, and that first moment where the like zombie guy turns around and you see like all the maggoty stuff in his face, that hurt me for years.
There you go. There's
Yeah,
5.
Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6 coming to Switch.
I still
That
need
I'll
to
pick
play
up.
6.
I think that'll be a cool Switch pickup. You're going to get all that in one package. Giggity. Yeah, I look forward to it.
It's pretty cool.
Playing a Resident Evil game in a place like that might not be my way to play, but I bet you could find your way to play, don't you think? For now. please
How's
take a
Nintendo
look.
doing so far? Would you say this far?
Expected. It's clean and they're snapping away.
I love that snap sound.
Yeah.
Like how
They're very smart with their marketing.
snap click.
So they showed all their first party. They're sandwiching with a lot of third party stuff. And these games look good. I mean, it isn't at that
No
point
more
where we're
heroes.
like making fun of Nintendo looks like trash anymore.
Is this a number? Oh, is this? What am I looking at here? I'm just dropping franchises. I think it is. What is this?
It's Gundam.
Virtual On.
No, not Gundam.
That's Sega. I think Virtual On.
As you can see, things got all funky real quick. There's
I'm guessing No More Heroes.
I do waiting for me up ahead. All yoked and powerful and trying to take over the world or something.
Is that quick time events?
Suplex.
Oh shit! It looks better than the Star Wars game. This is what I mean, man. Like, if Star Wars went stylized, they should have went this. They're in a weird like mid ground, and I hate games like that because it just feels to me like bad art direction. Like commit to something.
No More Heroes 3.
No. Larry's like 10 for 10 so far.
No, I recognize stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I've played 0 hours of No More Heroes 1 and 2. I just remember all their commercial advertising and what their genre.
Your memory,
felt like.
someone needs to study your because you have like crazy memory on certain
If
things.
it's visual.
Is it visual?
Anything visual is like locked.
My memory's like shit for both.
This is
I have no good
He
memory.
led an elite team of Contras during war.
This is
Oh, we get a new Contra game?
HB is
What is this?
You
lost me as soon as you
I
showed
think
me
this is
the
the
panda.
first game that looks like shit.
They survived by merging together during the Alien Wars.
They should have just keep it top down, dude.
Sweetest bug you'll ever meet.
It's not to be. I see when you start seeing behind the camera stuff, or
Yeah.
like art that's not meant for that. It's like some kind of like producer marketing call. What if we bring the camera all the way down? It's like no, the art isn't optimized for that.
Yeah, even your games have Instagram face where you like you
Yeah.
have that one side.
Yeah, you gotta really
Don't show my
work
left.
with the angles, man.
No, stop. Stay right there and look.
Stay
at
right
me.
there. Look down.
Contra, Rogue. I didn't see the other word.
Whoever invented that angled selfie did not get enough credit.
Cool.
Man.
I'll say this. I like the idea of a Contra game, especially now. What I didn't like was how far they stretched it with the other 3 characters.
All right.
I hate to
Anniversary
say
collection. Okay.
I hate to say it, but I just Panda Bear. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know I'm destroying everything comically.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It ain't for me. Or Randy Jackson. That's a no for me, dog. Sweet.
Oh, Senpai Losi just joined. We're just today's Nintendo Direct. We're just looking over everything from their side because we already did Google Stadia Wednesday and then and Microsoft yesterday. If you guys want to see that, it should still be available on the Twitch stream. If not, if you're
over to
really
YouTube.
watching this later, go to our youtube.com/BlueChamps to kind of watch our uploads if you missed the live.
My favorite mech type of, or like this type of like mecha kind of mech battle game ever, Zone of the Enders, PS3.
Kojima game, right?
My God, that game, undefeated. It's like, I don't say like, oh, my favorite game of all time kind of thing, but in regards to like this type of game, I have never played an experience that I think tops Zone of the Enders. That game is so much fun. I haven't played the remake. I should buy it.
Dude, Monday, we need to look at all the individual gaming out, like Death Stranding and all that.
Oh, damn.
Kojima, dude.
That game, more than anything, has just generated a lot of intrigue for me because I don't understand.
Yes.
And I want to understand.
But what is the most impressive about that game is the idea started in 2016. 2016, right? The inception, him building a new studio after, you know, the Yakuza Konami cut ties with him. And him, like, still building up the buzz at the same time in marketing. And now it's shipping November 2019. In 3 years.
Yeah.
When was the last AAA
On
game?
his own engine.
Yeah, on his own engine.
Yeah, yeah. How
When was the
about that?
last game that you heard that was able to do all those within 3 years? That's like PS2.
Minecraft.
That's a fucking.
It's the only thing.
That's a
and then
fucking
like quality difference. Right?
professional, man. That is
Yeah.
a professional. Like, there's no games in the last 5 to 10 years that shipped within 3 years of building a new
Building
engine,
their own engine, going through the
idea,
turmoil.
and marketing at the same time.
Well, shout out to Kojima-san and everyone who financially believed in him after the big
So,
split.
so Monday we'll take a look at that. But now let's dedicate to Nintendo.
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
And Pokemon Shield.
So Pokemon, has it always been owned by Nintendo? What's the deal there?
I think,
The location of your newest
I hate to say it like this because it's going to make me sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to say what I believe I know. I think it's actually like co-owned because I think Game Freak had the original idea and Nintendo was the first publisher. And so now there's like some sort of invested exclusivity, so to speak, because I haven't seen Pokemon on anything other than a cell phone or a Nintendo device.
Pokemon from one of these
They
games
probably have the
are
rights to
controlled through the
games.
real-world
Yeah,
setting.
because like,
But like commercials is not. by Nintendo.
yeah, I don't know who fully owns Pokemon, and like Nintendo's not the ones designing or coming up with the new Pokemons. I think Game Freak,
In the Nintendo booth,
I think Game
this
Freak are
year's
still,
E3,
if not majority, fully own Pokemon, but have, I don't know. Someone correct us in Twitch if you know more about Pokemon. Let us know. Who actually owns it? Is it Nintendo owned or just Nintendo published and
Yeah,
partnered
you guys
with?
look that up.
the one and only
Senpai,
go.
Senpai loves it. He said Kojima got the Gorilla's engine. I don't think so. Gorilla wouldn't loan.
I thought he had his own. I thought they were using not the Fox engine.
Fox engine was when they were
was
on a Konami flag.
But I thought that Death Stranding was their own engine.
It was. It should be. Yeah,
I
because they
thought
use
so.
a lot
I
of the
thought so.
same engineers to come over
Yeah.
to make their own engine. Maybe they. I know Kojima was walking around Sony's internal studios to kind of get a glimpse of
Looking
what
over
everyone's
shoulders.
doing,
Yeah.
but I don't think they licensed out their engine to him because I don't think his studio is owned by Sony, right? Someone looked
I
that
don't
up.
know. Yeah, it's not that we don't know stuff. We know a lot, but we don't know everything. Is the way
Yeah,
that,
I have a feeling that Kojima created their own
yeah.
engine. So Dane said the Pokemon company managed it, but it's co-owned by Game Freak and Nintendo.
Yeah, so it is co-owned. It is
Yeah.
co-owned. Yeah.
At this rate, all of humankind will be pulled into the
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
We're facing down
The hard part for me in Pokemon is like I've lost interest because I don't remember 500 different monsters.
Yeah.
years of research.
I connected with the experience when there was 150.
The ultimate
Once they expanded it, even like just one generation past that, I think they went to 200 or something. Already then it was a stretch. And I mean, I get it, right? Like, who wants to keep playing the 150 Pokemon experience over and over and over and over and over?
I'm referring, of course.
But yeah, it's just way too much for me. I'll play a remake of Red and Blue. I think the last one, Eevee and Pikachu, I think they were remakes of.
Dude, that dude must be a billionaire, right? The guy who created Pokemon.
Oh yeah, billionaire. Actually, I wouldn't say billionaire.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
It's
I think
so many offshoots from that
I think
simple idea.
very well taken care of to the point where he could spend all the money I'll ever make in my life every single day and probably be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's a billionaire.
There's no way. What good could this possibly be?
It's a long shot, but it's the only shot we have. It's all up to you, my friend.
A blessing.
If Pokemon was self-published, yeah, I'd give it to him 100%.
These voices are
Pokemon is
so
made so
tough to
much.
listen to sometimes.
We can't turn back now.
It's like all the Disney kids were able to come in and voice these.
He's still alive out there.
Like these voices, when I hear them, comes from like a very innocent inexperience, and they're like fighting huge monsters, so you don't feel like it's coming across like that they're pulling from somewhere deep.
Yeah.
So
I get
that's the
that.
sense I get when I hear that.
I've
Like
always
these
felt like those types
voiceovers.
of games, like, and I don't want to make a bad assumption about like a culture, but I've always felt like a lot of the Japanese product, there's so much like love, emotion, destiny, like these like, it's all about dreamers, it's all about chasing goals, it's all about
Yeah.
being cool,
Yeah.
and they almost have soap opera type character
Yeah.
acting.
Cookie cutting.
Oh, it is my destiny to be the one to slay the dragon.
Yeah.
No one over here talks like that.
No one
You
talks
know
like
what I mean?
that.
It's like, oh fuck,
Oh fuck!
this motherfucker tired of these mother effing dragons in this mother effing battle arena.
Yeah. What is this?
Cue
Empire
my
of the Sun.
battle
Hey,
music.
that looks pretty damn.
Empire of the Sin mobster game. I like anything mobster. I'll tell you that.
Death by our hands is
Here we
not
go
all
with the
that
voiceovers.
they have earned. They deserve something.
Oh, look at the Avengers! What? All right, before knowing
This is
what,
not the Crystal
what type of
Dynamics
game
game,
do you think
right?
this is? Fighting game, strategy game, adventure game? What do you think, based on what you see?
Strategy.
I think it's like a 4-player. Yeah.
Whatever's happening, we can
So RPG. It's an RPG.
Hey, Black Spider-Man showed up.
Or is it beat 'em up?
Looks like beat 'em up.
Jump in anytime now,
it is.
darlings.
It's a cool art style. Looks good.
Looks
So
like,
they have this game coming and whatever Crystal Dynamics is working on.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, so
Diablo.
all the individual publisher we're gonna take a look at that Monday, and because I only heard some of it, I didn't watch it thoroughly.
Ooh, some frame lag there. This must be a mobile game.
This is Marvel Alliance, because that was a beat 'em up game too.
Yeah. That I don't know if this is or a spin-off of that. I'm just judging by the performance and the frame rate. I'm assuming this is mobile.
Has there been like
It's probably a
successful-
Switch game,
Yeah.
but I hate.
Well, it's definitely a Switch game. Oh,
Ultimate
Ultimate
Alliance.
So it is the Alliance game, but
Is
it's
it-
Ultimate.
What platform?
It's Switch. We're watching the Switch thing.
We're watching Nintendo's thing, but they make phone games. They made Mario.
Nah, come on. They gave up on
Switch
that
was
phone thing.
struggling
They
to
saw the
run.
numbers of that Mario game. They really should like fuck this phone.
That Mario game was like
The
number
Switch
one
saved
game
them
for,
from
like,
having
2
to
months.
pivot. Like
Oh
that
my
phone
God.
was like a safety net in case Switch doesn't take off.
Yeah.
But Switch has shown like the console business is strong. People actually like a controller from the first party companies. Like the Stadia right now, they have a controller attached with their Chromecast, and it just feels like a third party peripheral. It's like, you get your shit together, guys.
What am I watching here? Cadence of Hyrule. Oh, is it a Zelda music game? I wasn't paying attention, but it seemed like they were to the beat. Doom, doom, shock, shock.
This is the
It's a pretty cool
Olympics.
concept.
Mario versus Sonic Olympics.
Oh, I would play this. Anything Mario Party type, I would play to hell. I love those games, especially when I have 3 friends that also are nerdy enough to own it with me and play.
Well, I wonder what the data is with the conversion from the Wii to the Switch in terms of like motion control and all that, because they haven't been really a huge emphasis of them like showing off the motion control stuff, right? Which they still have, right?
Yeah.
All the camera and gyroscope and all that stuff. They didn't really push it. Just make it about the content.
I'm sure they tried to share. I'm sure that internally post-mortem what worked well about the Wii that we can carry forward, and obviously what didn't work well was they knew that it was significantly underpowered, so they made something that looks a little more competitive, but then they still gave it that interactivity that they were going with the Wii, I think.
Alright, so Senpai Losi confirmed that Kojima probably took the Guerrilla's engine and made improvements to it, like alternate. So that means that they are basically first party for Sony to kind of share internal engines.
Kojima was like, "Can I borrow this?"
Yeah. And honestly, that's probably the best way. The Guerrilla's engine is probably the most advanced and more in line to what they had over at Konami.
This is nice. Yay! Animal Crossing. Good old shaking the trees.
It's unfortunate that Disney can't figure out the game business, dude. They have such a wealth of Nintendo-esque characters.
I think what Disney did well was giving Square Enix a shot on what the hell was that game? Kingdom Hearts series.
Kingdom Hearts is doing well. Yes,
I think
but
Epic Mickey 1,
yeah,
fantastic. Also, they got Epic Mickey 2 out of that. I didn't get to play Epic Mickey 2, but I think Epic Mickey 1 was valuable too.
And then they had the Toy to Life business.
Yeah, Disney Infinite. That was like chasing though, and I think that hurts them. Like Kingdom Hearts is original execution of like, hey, that could be a cool idea. Haven't seen something like this. We haven't done something like this, so the fans, we would love to see these two worlds combined.
Yeah.
Infinite was like, they're making how much?
Yeah, yeah, they definitely got in.
You know what I mean?
During the downfall of the Toy to Life business.
F that.
That's the way Activision.
Yeah.
Like they could have really stretched that out and get people used to the
Toys to Life.
Toys, well, just toys in general, because that is the evolution of toys.
If they were more responsible at the rate at which they tried to grow that,
man, they just
it could have been
went
way
in and
more
pillaged and
sustainable.
raped and left. It was.
Do you think they did that out of fear of Disney coming in with?
I think
Infinite, or do you think
that's
that
just them
that's
doing their
MO?
thing, where every quarter it's all about quarterly profits. They probably saw the toy business industry overall. They have their data saying that, no one's buying toys except for maybe Legos. But even Legos is not even doing. They're like plateauing right now.
Okay. Here's a question for you: do you think Toys to Life will make a resurgence at any point?
By the way, there are many different types of games coming to Nintendo Switch from Nintendo and our partners.
I don't think so. Not in the traditional sense. I think Legos is in the best place to kind of turn toys into like an AR experiment.
So that's where I was gonna say is like, that's where I could see Toys to Life making a second coming. Is let's say VR AR becomes a lot bigger, right? Like a little more solidified, maybe 20 million units worldwide.
Yeah.
Could you imagine some sort of like, oh, cool, I don't know, I got the Donkey Kong amiibo, and then I put the Donkey Kong amiibo thing down, and I touch it, and now Donkey Kong is in this VR world that I'm in with.
Yes,
that to me is like true toys
having
to life.
contextual feeling of the
Yeah.
toy and being able to like interact with it in, let's say, like a side-scrolling game and be like able to move it around is like, I think, the next level of interacting with your toys. But my kid right now plays exclusively with Legos, and every time I show him an action figure, it's like, what do I do with this? Because he looks at it as
You
like
pretend.
an inferior product. He's like, I can't build it, I can't take it apart, I can't make my own.
Dang.
He could, yeah, at least with my kid, he's Legos exclusive.
I don't know if you're bragging right now or you're pointing out a problem because it sounds cool that he's like that. You know what I mean? Or, but that's dope.
I have to see that, like, if kids are used to the Legos ecosystem, it's very hard to look at other toys seriously, right?
I think anybody our age, if you had 2 men, that's all you needed to have Royal Rumble. Like, please.
I see men playing with action figures more.
I
than
used to do
boys
like
now.
every fight.
Yeah, I used to
do all
interact and be imaginary with basically Toy Story, right?
And I was
But I don't see
referee.
that
I was
with
Vince
this
McMahon. I was
yeah.
all that.
I don't see that with this generation as much.
Well,
And
you don't have to use your
but like the
brain as
next
much.
step would be that, like to take your imagination, set up
Bigger boundaries.
bigger boundaries, but like and combine the digital world to kind of bring your toys to life. I mean, that's basically what the Toys to Life business was, is trying to bring that level. But I think everyone abandoned it too early to kind of fully realize it.
Where it was, there's no easy way to make the next step, right? Like, I do think Toys to Life would kill it if VR was a bigger thing, right? To be hanging out with Mario, but like really hanging out with Mario. But in order for me to get that, I bought this toy. I think the Toys to Life model has potential in a marketplace that actually fulfills the to life part.
Yeah, the augmented reality. I think once they figure that out, the toys will come back very strongly. But until then,
boom.
I think the toy business overall is kind of dying.
And one thing I was just gonna hint on was we actually didn't have as many entertaining options as kids today, so we had to use our imaginations a lot more.
Yeah.
So
that's why we're more creative.
Yeah. What do I do with this figure? It's just in the pose. Like, what are you gonna give him? That's the start. You make a ladder match. You make him beat all your other figures, and then right when he thinks he's gonna win the belt, you surprise attack him.
Yeah. I mean, he does all that with his Marvel Legos. Yeah. It's just that Legos just add that extra element of building.
Duck Hunt. I hate that dog. I absolutely hate that dog. My childhood, before I started putting the camera gun right up to the screen, like that excuse my language, that freaking dog.
You can cuss here. Fucking dog.
Whatever you miss.
This is Banjo-Kazooie. What is this?
Smash.
Smash again?
Yeah.
They close it with Smash?
Yeah.
Well, so the other one's Smash X something.
Smash X.
This is regular Smash.
This is regular Smash. Added Banjo-Kazooie.
And Donkey Kong.
Oh, Donkey Kong's been in Smash for a while, right?
Yeah.
He was in the first one.
Actually.
Yeah, I remember the commercial. It was like,
is he in the new one?
Father leaves. No, what
probably
was that?
Didn't unlock
it was
the
like a
character
60s
yet.
song that the first Smash came out to, and I remember Donkey Kong being there. They were all dressed up as like real people in the costumes, beating the crap out of each other in some grass field. It was like a Beatles song or something that they. Anyway, whatever. I forgot. But Donkey Kong is like OG for Smash.
Super Smash Ultimate. Oh, so what? There's two different.
You're playing someone traveling.
There's two different versus Smash games. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my god. As a DLC, maybe?
I don't know.
It better be a DLC. If it's its own two games, it's like.
Let's see if the audience can fact check.
Can you guys fact check that?
This is cool. Like I like this interaction. Like everybody who's in the Twitch chat right now, thanks for being a part of what we do. This is awesome. Love you guys. And thanks for making this show like valid, because otherwise we would be spewing facts all day. But yeah, Kojima invented Smash, by the way. He went to. He was the one that actually named it Smash, because he smashed his controller the first time he lost.
Thank you very much for watching. Until
all
next
right.
time.
Way to go, Nintendo. I think I was really excited about two things that I saw there. Remake for Zelda Link's Awakening. Excited about that. And I'm gonna see what they do with the new Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm Nintendo doing Nintendo shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a reliable press conference every year that you can look forward to. They're not announcing their next Switch. I don't think they need to.
I'm happy to hear that the next Switch is much like the Xbox One X, which is like, hey, this is just beefier, better, but still in the same lineage.
Right.
So I think that's going to be cool. What I will say is the surprise attack that came out of this for me was a Dark Crystal turn-based tactics style game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's new.
Yeah.
That's definitely new. And I love the advertising to get me set up, like going to the traditional puppetry to kind of hype that up. So that was cool.
Yeah, looks good. I think if you don't have a Switch right now, at this point in the life cycle, you're just either waiting or not getting it at all. So a lot of the content's mostly for fan service, I think.
Yeah.
They're not really trying to oversell more consoles. Yeah, they're on a steady what do you call it?
I don't feel overhyped. I just feel informed.
Yeah, just informed. Exactly.
I didn't hear anybody come out like, "Hey, everyone, do the floss dance."
Yeah,
with me. Let's go.
I mean, that was what the other two conferences we looked at, Stadia and Google. They're trying. I mean, Stadia and Microsoft, right? They were trying to sell consoles, and so it was. Even though Microsoft had a good amount of content yesterday that we looked at, I was fine with that. It looked okay. It looked good. Like it wasn't as boring as everyone was making out to be, which was very surprising. So that changed my opinion just by watching it.
I think aesthetically, I have a problem with the Microsoft conference because super small gripe that may not apply, but just as far as appeal and my own reaction to it, Nintendo uses white, bright color vibe.
Yes.
Xbox always comes in like super dark and like
Xbox is more hardcore.
Yeah, I feel like I walked into a rave that just finished.
Yes, I mean, that's their thing, right? That's their thing. So, like the same way that I complained yesterday about the suits trying to disguise himself in their sweaters.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I had gripes about that conference. It's like whenever they come out like that. So I appreciate Nintendo just coming out just show us who you are. You're in suits all the time. Just wear suits.
So here's something that's interesting. What if let's just say that's actually how those people did dress was the jeans with the Chuck Taylors and the vintage.
You can't hide behind those eyes, dude. I'm telling you, those eyes. At that corporate level, you gotta backstab and everything at that level. Yeah. So even if you're wearing, you're basically a wolf in sheep's clothing, dude. So whenever I watch those type of conferences, I see that.
I'm glad that our style is on camera now because
this is how I woke up, guys.
Hoodie, gym shorts.
Yeah,
I'll be in a board meeting. I hate to say it, but if I could get away with it, I'll be comfortable.
Comfort.
Oh man, please.
Is key. So thanks again for joining us for Games Recap. This concludes today's episode. So
first week,
joining us next week. There is no guest. We are hoping that sometime, because this is, a kind of spin-off of the Roundtable News. At some point, Ray can join us. Ray Graham on his face so he can start talking about games. So this week is actually a blessing in disguise because obviously E3 happened, so we got to dig through those videos, but we're going to return to form and talk about the big issues about the industry. But Monday, we have to go through the other big trailers that came out from Ubisoft and Crystal Dynamics, all this stuff.
Companies.
Yeah, and I think we can go through that on Monday. Sweet. If it extends to Tuesday, that's fine. But with that being said, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Twitch. If you miss us, go to our YouTube account. They will be uploaded. But we should also talk about what next week and what those shows that we're adding. All right. So I'm gonna push up these fancy graphics. It's gonna cover our face. All right. Oh, what is this? What is this, Larry?
All right. So reading left to right, I'll just start with Invisible Walls. We wanted to start a new show, podcast, also video, where we talk about breakthrough. Human breakthrough, achievement, basically life hacks, anything that you can do to, I can just do this. You're still.
We're still covered.
Didn't help. You look like what's his name, Neighbor Wilson.
It was like, hey,
just the eyes over the fence.
To my neighbors.
So anyway, Invisible Walls is going to be a podcast /show that we're going to do live stream as well. That's all about breakthrough. not being stagnant in your life, making sure that you have the confidence to take that next leap, but then also talking to people who were in all of our shoes at one point in time, but then have achieved excellence through breakthrough, identifying what those psychological barriers were and how they smashed them.
I like that.
Kojima first.
Kojima. So Monday and Wednesday, 11 a.m. Yeah. That will be an interview-based type of show. There'll be times also that we just take a certain subject and really talk about it in depth. But we're hoping to we have people lined up that are professionals outside the game industry field to kind of better yourself as individuals. So, for Wednesday, or Monday, we're going to tape the first show to kind of introduce the topic and things that we want to discover. It will be available in podcast form. But Wednesday, we're going to have our first interview guest, and this guy is my childhood friend that grew up to be like a calisthenic maniac. So his whole thing is about like using your own body weight to do amazing things, and we'll talk about his journey getting there.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yes.
I don't want him to give me any advice because I've got a lot of body weight. All right, so what I start with, Larry, is front flips. I'm like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah, but it's interesting to hear his story. But this is the Invisible Walls gives that opportunity to kind of give a platform outside of the game industry. But as you guys know, as gamers, as game developers, we do other things that kind of motivates our creative output. So
break through those walls, unlock your potential. You know, have your Gohan moment.
Right. And of course, if you are joining us, maybe. Not of course. Game Dev Unchained is a weekly podcast that started 3 years ago. It's our first.
Old Faithful.
Oh, it's Old Faithful. We are showing that live from this point forward on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. So we're going to have weekly guests of our game developers. And we're going to talk to them about how to be better game developers. Yeah. And then Games Go Online on Thursday. What is this show about, Larry?
So Games Go Online is another one of the businesses that has been, something that we've had ace in the pocket for a while, still growing strong. Shout out to all the people in that community there who continue to support us. What we wanted to do with Games Go Online is start giving back more tutorialized information to the community. So we're going to bring on, top level talent in their fields who are going to come give us about an hour's worth of their time to do workshops, not necessarily impromptu, but the cadence of the workshops will be, hopefully once every Thursday. You get to learn an hour behind maybe ZBrush or game design or even just a reflection on how to better interview in the game industry. Any sort of like career skill through the game development paths. That's what you should expect to see on the show for Game School Online.
Yeah, very tutorialized, very technique based. Where G-Dux before was talking about lifestyle and trying to get better, Game School Online is towards about getting better. At your job.
Tangible things.
Right? Very tangible things.
Producing art, designing games or to actually create something.
Right.
Invisible Wall is like mindset, like changing these switches to make sure that you're a machine of excellence.
Right. And then last but not least,
Backseat Gamer. Oh, I'm excited about Backseat Gamer. So we kind of were kicking around the concept of streaming and like what we could do to because we talk about developing games.
Yes.
We're in the gaming community. Yes. We do everything around gaming.
Yeah.
Except for games.
Playing games, yeah. Exactly. I'm very excited about the show because to actually dedicate some time finally in my life to play games would be great. Yes, and our model is going to be a little different. Obviously, we're on Twitch right now. As you guys know, there's a million other Twitchers playing games, and we need to introduce our own flavor. Yeah. So every week, Larry and I will pick a game that we're good at and introduce it to each other.
Let's really cook up the concept.
Break it down.
Brandon had a cool idea when we were talking about how we could stream and be unique. I credit you with the Backseat Gamer part because him being somewhat asshole-ish, but he was being serious. He was like, Larry, you should play a game that you suck at, and then I'm just going to sit behind you and talk shit.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's my style. So, like the old couch potato days where you're actually meeting up at a friend's house where one person had the controller. Yeah. What is the rest doing? They're always talking smack, talking about life. Right. We're hoping to make Backseat Gamer exactly that. So Larry will pick a game. Well, Larry will pick a game that I'll play that I'm usually not good at.
I was going to say, so there's only so much I could take. So what we'll try to do is we'll make sure we switch off.
Yes.
Where like Brandon will play a game maybe that I'm really good at. So I'll be coaching him. Yeah. Right? And that'll be the fun. Is like
that's his style. He's very helpful and gives his advice.
I can tell him what you should be doing.
Yes.
I know all the strategies, all the plans, but you have to execute.
I got to execute. So I'll be the one playing for his games. And then my style is usually shit talking and trying to get you to fall off the cliff because that's how I play games with my friends. And so Friday will be our first episode, and this is happening. All these new shows that we're displaying right now, besides Games ReCAP, is 10 a.m. daily, right? And then all these other shows are usually 11 a.m. following after, depending on the day. So thank you for everyone that's tuning in.
Yep. Shout out to Twitch, as always.
Shout out to Twitch, and I'm gonna start the outro music because we're super professional about this, or not. Yes. Here we go. You see that? You hear that?
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I can cue all the outro music. There it is.
Oh yeah.
That sweet elevator jazz. You're listening to WKKZ.
All right, so you got to see us out on this one.
Well, guys, first and foremost, thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for watching. Shout out to everyone on Twitch, fact checking us, red shirt kidding us at every opportunity that we mess up. And without further ado, consider yourselves recapped.
All right, we're going to have to play all these graphics before we get out, though. So as these graphics are popping up, of course, if you want to support us, go to our patreon.com/bluechamps. If you like the shirts that we've been wearing all throughout this week and you want one of your own, go to bluechamps.com/merch.
Yeah. And cool feature about those shirts, if ever you see us at any time and you're actually wearing one of our shirts, you get a free selfie with us.
Yes.
I'll throw that out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone supporting us, and games.
Not that we're famous or anything.
No.
But I just think that that's cool.
And if you're liking the show and you want, of course, to watch the video, but want to take us on the road, Patreon will display the goals. Like, obviously, you will get these. Daily it's going to be uploaded on YouTube, but all these other new shows that we're displaying next week, you get early and access and ad free if you subscribe to our Patreon. So if you don't catch us live on Twitch, just wait a week later for YouTube, or if you want it as of readiness, go to our Patreon and it will be uploaded there.
This music makes me think I'm on select a character for NBA 2002.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
All right.
That's our outro. See you guys.
See you guys.